5 daily habits that make life after 70 truly wonderful. You may no longer be climbing mountains like you used to, but each morning, you still have a new summit to conquer the joy of simply being alive. You've been through your share of busyness and struggles. Now your days can begin a little slower, but they can also feel much deeper. And I believe that at this stage in life, you're no longer chasing noise or crowds. You're simply wishing for one thing: to live each day fully with a soul that remains whole. Trust me, it's not out of reach. I'm 75 years old, and there was a time I believed that daily joy was something reserved for the young. But I've come to realize happiness never really leaves us. We just forget how to invite it back in. In this video, I'll share with you 5 simple things I started doing, things that require no money, no youthful energy, yet they've made every day after 70 feel lighter, brighter, and more meaningful. If you still believe that growing old can be the most beautiful chapter of your life, then stay with me. And if you want to keep walking this journey with me each day, hit the subscribe button. I believe something good is waiting for you each morning. Part 1. Spend 15 minutes. Each morning in the sunlight. Have you ever noticed this? Some mornings, even when your sleep wasn't great, or your dreams were interrupted, just stepping outside and breathing in the fresh morning air under the soft sunlight. It changes your whole mood. That's not a coincidence. It's nature's way of helping both your body and your spirit wake up and heal. I didn't always believe this. For years after retiring, I'd start my mornings with a TV remote, a cup of coffee, and the glow of the living room lights. I used to think, I'm old now. Why bother going outside early? It's bright enough in here. Then one day, I had to take my wife to a doctor's appointment at 7 a.m. The sky was clear, the breeze was gentle, and the sunlight was golden. For the first time in a long while, I felt good. It was the kind of feeling I hadn't had since childhood, like when my mother used to wake me up early, and I'd step out onto the porch to soak in the morning light. Something inside me woke up that day. I didn't feel so heavy anymore, and that whole day I carried a sense of calm. I started reading about it. Turns out that feeling wasn't just emotional, it was a real biological reaction, especially important for seniors. Why is early sunlight so important? According to Harvard Health, morning sunlight, particularly gentle blue light, early in the day, helps reset your circadian rhythm, your internal body clock. This directly affects sleep. Early light exposure helps your body produce melatonin at the right time at night. Better, deeper sleep. Mood. Natural morning light boosts serotonin, the feel-good hormone that eases anxiety and depression. Bone and immune health. Morning sun allows your skin to naturally produce vitamin D, which supports calcium absorption and strengthens your immune system. And here's the thing. After 60, most people aren't getting enough sunlight without even realizing it. We go out, less stay up later, and indoor lighting just doesn't stimulate the body the way natural light does. The solution: 15 minutes of morning sunlight, gentle yet powerful. I'm not saying you need to go for a jog or take a long walk. Just try this. Between 7:00 and 9:00 a.m. step outside onto your porch, your balcony, or your backyard. Sit for 10 to 15 minutes without overcovering yourself. Let the sunlight touch your face, neck, and arms. You can pair it with reading the paper, sipping tea, practicing deep breathing, or simply watching the trees and listening to the birds. If it's cold, just crack open a window and sit near the natural light. It still works better than artificial lighting indoors. And if you're able to take a slow 5 to 10 minute walk outside, that's a gift to your heart, lungs, and spirit all at once. Treat it like your first appointment of the day with yourself. Since making this a daily habit, I've felt better without taking a single extra pill. I eat better, sleep deeper, and most of all, life no longer feels so quiet, so still. Some mornings I simply sit there, eyes closed, letting the breeze graze my cheek. And I whisper to myself, I'm still here, and today is a day worth living. Try it tomorrow. Don't reach for your phone right away. Instead, open the door, step outside, and let the sun be the first one to greet you. And if this is already part of your morning routine, I'd love to hear from you. What do you usually do in those first 15 minutes of your day? Share it in the comments. Your story might just inspire someone else. Part 2. Daily Gratitude. The journey back to simple joy. There's a small, almost invisible habit that completely changed how I experience life after 70. It costs nothing, takes just a minute, and doesn't require any fancy tool. Just a slip of paper or a moment of quiet before bed. It's the habit of practicing gratitude. Sounds simple, doesn't it? But if you're anything like I was, you might think, gratitude for what? At my age, I've lost more than I've gained my health. My friends, even the routines that once made me smile. I used to feel that way. There was a time when all I could see was what was missing. The laughter gone from the kitchen, a blank calendar, and more old photos than new phone calls. Then one day I read something that stopped me in my tracks. When you lose your sense of gratitude, you also lose your ability to feel joy. That hit me. So I tried something. Every night, just before turning off the light, I started writing down 3 things I was grateful for that day. At first, it was hard. I dug through my memory and found only things so ordinary they barely seemed worth mentioning. But I wrote them anyway. The weather was cool, no headaches today. My neighbor dropped off a slice of apple pie. That was it. And you know what? After about a week, something shifted. I started looking for the good things during the day, just so I'd have something to write down at night. I noticed the color of the sky, the rustle of leaves, the light touch of my grandchild's hand when they hugged me. Those things were always there, I just wasn't seeing them. Multiple studies confirm it. Writing down things you're grateful for every day reduces stress, improves sleep, and raises happiness levels in older adults. Our brains are wired to remember threats over blessings. It helped our ancestors survive. But at this age, we're no longer fighting to survive. We're searching for peace. So now, instead of lying awake thinking about what's gone wrong, I write down 3 small things that felt right. Some nights, it's as simple as, my meal tasted good. My back pain didn't return. I heard an old favorite song. Tiny things that would be easy to ignore, but once written down, they become gentle reminders I'm still here. And there's still something to smile about. I share this not because I'm naturally optimistic. I used to be very practical, even a bit cynical, but I've learned something. Gratitude isn't just a feeling, it's a skill. It's something you can practice, like strengthening your legs or steadying your heartbeat. So if you're looking for a way to feel more whole each day, without changing your life, without doing anything grand, try writing down 3 things you're thankful for tonight. You don't have to share it. Just write it for yourself. So you can see that life still holds more than just what's been lost. And if you've ever done this before, I'd truly love to know, what are you most grateful for today? Write it below, because maybe, just maybe, what you're treasuring right now is something someone else has forgotten to notice. Part 3. Gentle movement and slow breathing. A prescription-free dose of joy. Have you ever noticed this? Some mornings all it takes is a slow stretch and a deep breath, and suddenly your body feels awake again. It's such a small movement, yet somehow you feel yourself returning physically and mentally. I used to believe exercise was for the young, for jogging gyms or biking. But after turning 70, I've come to realize something. Sometimes all it takes is standing up, slowly relaxing your shoulders, raising your arms and inhaling deeply. And I feel alive again. Why do so many older adults start to lose their physical and mental flexibility after 60? The body begins to change quietly. Muscles shrink if not used regularly, a condition called sarcopenia. Blood circulation slows down, especially to the hands, feet, and brain. Lung function declines, making our breaths shallow and oxygen levels lower. And our mood often slips into sluggishness, fatigue, and foggy focus. The problem is most of us either don't notice or we accept it as just part of getting old. So we move less, go outside less, and gradually we start pulling away from life. But I want to say this with all my heart. You don't have to decline just because you've aged. As long as you're still breathing, you still have the power to do something just for yourself. A simple but powerful solution. 10 minutes each morning, gentle movement with slow breathing. I'm not suggesting you run or hit the gym. I'm simply sharing what I've done for the past 3 years and felt real results from a short, mindful series of gentle movements paired with deep breathing, about 10 minutes each morning. It might be a basic stretch routine, wrist circles, neck tilts, gentle torso twists, hip rotations. A simple set of 3-5 Qigong or Tai Chi movements like lifting the sky or bowing to the earth. Or just standing firmly on your feet, placing your hands on your belly and breathing in deeply for 4 seconds. Hold for 4. Then slowly exhale for 6. When you do this, you're not just waking up your body, you're also gently activating your nervous system. Blood flows better to your brain, your heartbeat stabilizes, your mind clears, and most of all, you begin to feel in control again, not ruled by your body, but in partnership with it. I have a friend named George, he's 78, and had a minor stroke a while back. After recovering, he made a personal promise every morning he'd spend 15 minutes doing a breathing and movement routine right in his living room. Just 15 minutes. And now, not only is he walking more steadily, he once told me something I'll never forget. I don't move to live longer. I move so that every day still feels whole. When you move gently and breathe slowly, it's like telling your body, I still care. I haven't given up. And in the most surprising way, your body listens. It responds with stability, calmness, and the deep sensation of being truly alive. So tomorrow, before you make your morning coffee, try standing up, opening your arms wide, and taking one long, slow breath. Just 2 minutes. And if you feel a little lighter afterward, you've already started. If you already have a morning movement routine that helps you feel better, I'd love to hear about it. What do you do each morning to help your body wake up and your spirit feel brighter? Your story might just be the unwritten remedy someone else needs to begin their own journey. Part 4. Sharing one meaningful act. each day. When we're young, every day has a clear purpose, caring for children going to work, helping family running errands. But after retirement, after the kids have grown, many of us begin to ask ourselves, do I still matter to anyone? I've felt that before? No one says it out loud. But when you spend an entire day circling between meals and the recliner, a quiet question starts to echo inside you. Am I still useful? There's no one to remind to take their meds, no more appointments to prepare for, no one asking you to fix that tiny leak under the kitchen sink. And one day, you wake up feeling invisible. I remember once I sat in front of the TV for hours and couldn't even recall what I was watching. It wasn't sadness, it was something else. Emptiness. A quiet that didn't feel peaceful. An absence of something I couldn't even name. When we stop feeling useful, our mental well-being begins to slip. Numerous studies from Mayo Clinic and the CDC show seniors who feel disconnected or no longer needed are more likely to experience persistent low-grade depression, disrupted sleep, increased chronic inflammation and high blood pressure, and even memory decline. What's worse, no one can see it from the outside. You still eat, you still smile, you still greet your neighbors. But deep down, you know something's missing, meaningful connection, a simple but powerful solution. Share one small thing with someone every day. No need to do anything grand. You don't have to save the world. Just offer a moment of kindness, a small gesture, a warm action, a thoughtful word. For example, call an old friend and ask, "Hey, how have you been?" Drop off a slice of pie or an apple to your neighbor. Post an encouraging message online. Or simply say to a stranger in the park, "Beautiful day, isn't it?" I started by texting 3 retired friends each morning to wish them a good day. Nothing fancy, just a couple of kind sentences. Then one day a friend replied, "Thank you. I woke up feeling heavy this morning. Your message made me smile." And in that moment I realized something. I was still making something good happen. And that was enough to give my day meaning. You see, sometimes we don't need to receive anything to feel happy. We just need to give. And the magic is when you make someone else smile, you quietly begin to heal a piece of yourself too. So tomorrow, try sharing one little thing with someone. It could be a good morning to the doorman, a cookie you baked, or a simple compliment. Your hair looks lovely today. And if you've ever done something like that, share it with me below. What's one small act you've done that made you feel like you still belong to the world? I'll read every response. And maybe someone out there will smile because of your story. Part 5. Nourishing the Soul Reading. Listening or remembering beautiful memories. We often talk about physical health, what to eat, how to move, which pills to take. But there's a part of us that needs care just as much every single day, the soul. Now, I'm not talking about something abstract. To me, the soul is the softest part of who we are. It holds our most beautiful memories, the stories that once brought us to tears, and the quiet beliefs that kept us going in our most fragile moments. At 75, I've come to realize what makes me feel truly empty isn't a lack of good food or missed phone calls. It's when I go through an entire day without nurturing that deeper part of myself. When I read nothing that moved me, heard no music that stirred a memory, recalled nothing that made me smile. My habit of soul care began very simply. Each morning after light movement and a glass of warm water, I sit quietly for 5 minutes. No phone, no news, just the sunlight brushing my face through the window, and my mind gently wandering to a memory that warms my heart. Sometimes it's the image of my wife, young and laughing in her floral dress on our first picnic. Sometimes it's my daughter's giggle at age 4, running through the yard shouting, "Daddy, superhero, that's all it takes." And my heart feels full again. The edges of my days soften, and I treat both myself and others more gently. You don't need to meditate or read philosophy to nourish your soul. You only need a few minutes each day to connect with whatever makes you feel fully human. Maybe it's rereading a passage from a book that once touched you deeply, writing a few lines in a private journal just to let your thoughts out, listening to an old song that made your young heart skip, looking at an old photo and remembering that perfect spring day, or simply sitting in silence, watching how the light hits a familiar wall and feeling your heart breathe. Researchers at Johns Hopkins have found that older adults who regularly engage in gentle mental or emotional activities, whether reading, journaling, or memory reflection, are 32% less likely to experience cognitive decline and 40% more likely to feel their life has meaning. I'm not surprised, because I've lived it. The days I move through life like a machine eating, watching TV, going through the motions, I don't feel alive. But on the days I take 10 minutes to write a letter to someone I love, or even just jot down 3 thoughts from my heart, I feel myself return, clearer, softer, and more grateful. Our souls, when not watered with attention, begin to dry up. But here's the good news. You don't need anyone else to nourish it. You can begin today. So I invite you set aside 10 minutes today, not to do anything, but simply to be with yourself. Call it sacred time, or just a place to rest. And I believe if you keep that habit every day, you'll find that aging isn't a closing chapter, but an opening one, gentle, profound, and truly worth living. And if there's something you do quietly each day to nourish your own soul, please share it with me. Because maybe, just maybe, it's exactly what someone else out there needs to remember the best part of themselves. Closing thought. Growing older isn't an ending. It's the beginning of a new way to live. If you've stayed with me until this moment, I want to say something to you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Not just for watching this video, but for continuing to live each day with intention and care, even if no one else sees it. We're not rushing through life anymore, but that doesn't mean we've stopped. We're simply living differently now, slower, deeper. And if we slow down enough, we'll notice there's still so much to be grateful for, so much to share, to feel, and to hope for. The 5 habits I've shared today aren't some magic formula. They won't make you invincible, but they are tiny seeds. And if you plant them each day, life after 60, after 70, can blossom in a way that's entirely your own. Spend 15 minutes in the morning sun. Share something kind. Move gently and breathe deeply. Write down 3 things you're grateful for, and give your soul a few quiet moments each day. None of these things require strength. They only ask that you soften a little with yourself. Because in the end, happiness isn't something we wait for. Happiness is something we quietly choose every day. If this video made you think of someone, send it to them. If you saw yourself in the words I shared, leave a comment. And if you'd like to keep walking this journey of joyful, healthy, and meaningful living with me, click like and subscribe. because we still have so many beautiful things to share with each other every single day on this path of aging with grace.